Welcome to Track Record on Niger Youth Community TV. Today, Track Record on Niger Youth Community TV takes you to Kuje Prison, where shit is going down. Something is going on. Just take a look.
Well, you heard the ruling that the senator should be remanded in prison custody until the 500 million is paid or the property is sold in recovery of the 500 million. The issues are very simple. We're in court today. This is the first time we are appearing in the matter of forfeiture of the bail bond. This is our first time of appearing. We were only briefed last week on the 19th, and we had applied to the court for all the previous documents related to the bail to be given to us to enable us effectively and effectually defend Senator Ndume. Because those documents have not been given to us by the court, we asked for an adjournment. That issue of adjournment was refused, and the court proceeded thereafter for the forfeiture of the bond. We had not taken argument. We had not argued the issue of the forfeiture of the bond because we needed the documents before the court to enable us effectively defend our client. That has not been given to us.
There you have it. Senator Ali Ndume is in Kuje Prison. He is the chairman Senate Committee on Army. He is a staunch APC member. He is a strong Buhari supporter, a Buharist, who will be going through his activity in recent weeks because what he has said in recent weeks could be the reason for his predicament. It's possible. Yes, that is Ndume doing military parade inspection. You know, just like Saraki, Dino Melaye, and Senator Abaribe. Anyone who challenges this government, the fight against corruption will be swift against that person. This guy acted as a shorty to Mena, the same thing that Senator Abaribe did for Mazin Namubikalo. So we all know where this is going to end up. Let's watch in weeks ahead and see what they are going to do about it. No one can tell, but let's just watch. We know that Ali Ndume is not a saint, but the question is why now? Yes, the clip you just watched is a proof that Senator Ali Ndume is an insider in government. He has access to information that most of us do not have access to. So, in recent weeks, he has been saying things that, will give any well-meaning Nigerian concerns about the activities of this our government. Take a look at this.
But unfortunately, when the government has, I've said it several times, some people come out in the government to insult me. The kleptocrats in the government are now forming the majority, or have formed the majority, and therefore betraying the laudable projects or policies that the president wants to implement. I can tell you that from the beginning, we came in with three main agenda. One is to secure the country, that is in security. Two is to fight corruption. And three is to provide infrastructure. You cannot say that the president has not performed in these three areas. But the impact and then the implementation is the problem. And under normal circumstances, you don't expect the president to do that personally himself. He is supposed to get the able hands, and that is where the problem started.
Over the years, Ndume has acted as an advocate for Nigerian army. He is always vocal about poor funding of Nigerian military. He has criticized the government over the years about the funding of the military. But the situation in recent time, it gives everyone reason to think otherwise. Here is what he has said. You have to watch all this and understand the man Ndume.
Many Nigerians are on the same page with us. I, in my own village, Malams that are Muslims, not ordinary Muslims, but Malams, elders above 60, caught me. 75 of them, distinguished colleagues, were taken to an abattoir and slaughtered by Boko Haram. And can you imagine that the Nigerian army would Nigerian government is saying that because these people have gone to repent, or they say they hand themselves up, you bring them back and you pamper them. If you give an IDP here 150,000 as back as they give them, I have over 10,000 of them here. If you give one of them 50,000, tomorrow he will go back home. He's displaced, he's suffering, he knows these people, and give their parents. That is wrong. And then, sorry sir, I'm getting emotional, but in addition to that, the recent attack in Damboa was carried out by a repentant, giving information as to the movement of the army. The general that was killed was the same thing. So I'm against, are you withdrawing your support? I am completely against that idea of, saying that, what do they call them, Boko Haram, they know my position on that. You can't do that. It is after the war that when you win the war, or when people surrender, that you think about that, and you keep them somewhere. You go to America, there is Guantanamo Bay. For how many years are some people suspected to be Taliban or terrorists being detained there? You can imagine some people are even doing, people are living in camps, and then you are training people and you are giving them startup money. You are just saying that people should go and join Boko Haram, then come and repent and be something. That's a totally unacceptable idea of solving the
lawmakers' salaries should be cut.
Well, you are mixing things. Let me just talk to you straight on this. It is not the issue of the salaries of the lawmakers that matters. I feel pain about that, because the budget of the National Assembly, out of the 13 trillion that every year they pay, is 128 for this year, for example. That includes salary, everything. If you remove, let's say that if Nigerians want, because democracy cannot go without the legislature. For me, and I'm speaking for a majority of us, call out the National Assembly, cancel it. That means, cancel the National Assembly. That means you have 128 billion naira reduction. Does that make any difference in a wait, now let me land, please, because this thing is getting too much for people like me that I come out to serve. Because we see this, number of youths, massive number of youths, and the president would always ask, what are we going to do with this? That was when the idea of Npower came on board. And from the first year, he approved 500 billion. And the monies were released for graduates to be employed, especially in teaching and other areas and all that. But if you hear the number and the impact, they are just not, it doesn't add up. You hardly see it on ground, and that's where the problem is. He came up recently with the youth investment program of 75 billion, and then another additional 25 billion was set aside to pay attention to the youth requirement that will enable them to take off. But those that are charged with the responsibility of implementing this laudable project, approved by President, are not doing their job. You could see even during the COVID-19 pandemic, when there was lockdown, the President and the business community and the non-governmental agencies came in and then gave the support. But what happened? They went up and locked these things in various warehouses. And the people, went to ransack that place.
Yes, that is the man Ali Ndume in recent weeks. But here on Track Record, we try to keep track of events so that Nigerian politicians will not fool anyone. Back in 2011, Ali Ndume was arrested for possible link with Boko Haram by then Goodluck Ebele Jonathan administration. The case is still in court as we speak. So here concludes today's episode of Track Record. We just want to put it on record that Ali Ndume is not a saint. But if there is something we are proud of about him, is that he is a radical politician. He knows when to say the truth, he knows when to act. And he is acting at the right time because his people are dying in his constituency. And that's what matters to him. It doesn't matter what the government of the day thinks, but he has said the truth, and the truth is going to set him free if he's innocent. Thank you for joining us today. I'm still your host, KC.